Starfield to me was more like one of those crushes that we had where it felt better when they were just our crushes. Everything looked promising and we thought that they might be the one. But when we got to know them better, it just didn't work out. When I saw the first glimpse of Starfield during the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase in 2022, I was blown away. Needless to say, I had a crush. That theme music took my heart away and I still love it till this day. After watching that well-crafted gameplay demo, I couldn't wait to get my hands on Starfield. I meant to say, I couldn't wait to play the game. Fast forward to making this video, me and Starfield are no longer together. I tried, guys. I tried really hard. When it felt boring and bland with the vanilla version, I tried to spice things up with the mods. But after all that, I still couldn't force myself to even finish the campaign. So taking some time after this breakup, I thought of making this video to get views and feel like a legit content creator. What the hell? Who's changing my scripts? Sorry, please ignore that. I'm sharing my experience with Starfield so that I can help someone who's in that crush phase to set some realistic expectations. Sounds cool? Then please hit the like button before we start with the things that I really like about Starfield. Music in Starfield is amazing. Specifically, the theme song Into the Starfield just takes your breath away. That music has some magic in it. Every time I listen to that music, some part of me wants to go back to playing Starfield. Bethesda also made a lo-fi music playlist in collaboration with lo-fi record artists, widely known by their YouTube channel, Lo-Fi Girl. That whole playlist is chef's kiss. I'll put a link in the description below for the playlist. If you haven't already listened to it, do give it a try after watching this video, okay? Now, talking about gameplay stuff, I really like the way the character customization was introduced in the game. It was done in a really nice way. Character customization options were also decent, but nothing new for me apart from their hair colors. Gunplay felt decent to me in Starfield. I didn't expect much in terms of shooting since Starfield is a space exploration RPG first, then a shooting RPG of course, but I was genuinely surprised with the gunplay in a positive way. There are a lot of weapons available in this game to choose from, so you won't feel limited by the choice that you have in terms of your weapon and demolition. I guess. The weapon designs are also nice. So yeah, these are the things that I have to say about Starfield that I really liked. I mean, I really wish I had more to say about the things that I really liked about Starfield. But yeah, sorry to disappoint if anybody was, expecting me to say a few more positive things or things that I really liked. But this is my list of things that I really liked about Starfield. So let's just move on to the things that I'm okay with in Starfield, okay? I initially dig the spacecraft designs in Starfield, but when I saw how cool looking the spaceships were in Star Citizen, that bulky block-shaped design that Starfield had adopted was not appealing to me anymore. I also dig the spacesuits in Starfield. Although I was only using the Mantis suit till my time playing the game, mainly because it was the best one both in terms of perks and looks in my inventory, I had seen a lot of people posting online with a lot of cool spacesuits that were in the game and that could be found by playing the game. No in-game purchase is required, just to be a disclaimer. That was before I saw Star Citizen and the spacesuits in it. But I understand that both of these games have different design choices in terms of cosmetics, and it won't really affect the actual gameplay experience. So I'm kinda okay with what we have in Starfield. What I'm not okay with are the things that I'm going to mention here after you hit the subscribe button. Done? Let's get going. Starting with, what the hell is wrong with the NPCs in this game? The faces lack any emotion or expression whatsoever. I didn't feel any connection with any of the companions that I had during my playtime except for Vasco. In fact, Vasco was probably the only one having a matching personality with its character, a robot. This was a title released in 2023, but it felt more like a title released 6 to 7 years ago. The game doesn't try to introduce the various game mechanics to a new player. It doesn't take into account that this game may be the first of its kind for many players like me. I haven't had any experience with any of the older Bethesda titles, so a few of the game mechanics that felt normal to the Bethesda veterans were completely new for me. I understand that many players like to learn stuff about the game all by themselves, but that should have been an accessibility option rather than being an outright gameplay feature in Starfield. By the time I had stopped playing Starfield, cutscenes had become an irritating point for me about the game. Initially, I was okay with it, but slowly that annoyance of getting a loading screen in almost every other corner of exploration had started to grow on me. Once again, this did not feel like a game made in 2023. The romance mechanism was disappointing for me. I have no issues with games giving me multiple characters to choose from as a romantic interest, but I have an issue about how some stuff is forced on me. I don't appreciate Samko having a flirty conversation with me at all. That creeped me out, dude. I literally removed him from my companion until I was forced to take him as a companion later during a mission. Just give us an option to choose during the character creation whether we want to flirt with men or women, or if we want to keep our options open. I think that keeps every group happy. The lackluster story of Starfield never appealed to me. I was really expecting an exhilarating campaign with memorable characters that would take me into the rollercoaster ride of a lifetime. Needless to say, I was utterly disappointed. I didn't like the fact that I had to install mods to simply make the game enjoyable so that I would continue to play the game. The vanilla inventory system was so bad I'd suggest any new player to just simply install the Star UI mod. Eyes of the NPCs looked horrendous. Spaceship navigation felt clunky and I had to install a mod for that as well. In general, all the mods that I was using were just to make my life easier by decluttering some stuff in the game, which were there in the vanilla version. When asked about the poor performance of the game, Todd Howard said that the game ran fine and people needed to upgrade their systems instead. That was a total bullshit. Starfield is nowhere near as good as titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Alan Wake 2, etc. Those titles are setting benchmarks with the visual fidelity, story, etc. Those titles, in my opinion, justify their demand for beefier systems. If Todd Howard genuinely thinks that Starfield is in the same ballpark of those titles, he is clearly delusional. I'll even go ahead and say that Starfield is not even in the same ballpark of titles released way earlier like The Division or GTA 5. Those titles are in their own category, and I don't feel that Starfield in any way is as near as to those titles as Todd Howard thinks it to be. I really tried to savor my relationship with Starfield. I even took the help of mods to make the game enjoyable, but in the end it was just too much for me to continue. The negatives overwhelmed the positives, and that's when everything fell apart. I think it was already over when I had to use mods to enjoy the game. I knew I would not be able to continue for long with this game, but I had hoped for at least finishing the main campaign, but unfortunately that also didn't happen. During all this, I had made a smart move. I did not buy the game, rather, I had taken Xbox PC Game Pass membership, and man am I glad that I didn't pull the trigger on Starfield. To be honest with you, I had learned my lesson from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2022, but that's a discussion for another day. I'll simply advise anyone who's interested in Starfield to simply get a Game Pass membership either on your Xbox console or on PC and try the game first. It would cost you a fraction of the money that you would be paying to buy the game instead. If you end up liking it, just buy it during a sale. In the end, I'll conclude by saying that Starfield is beautiful in its own way, but I guess it's not for me. That will do for today. If you are still here, you are a Chad. I guess you have already done your part of liking this video and subscribing to my channel. In case you have forgotten, don't worry, do it now and let me know in the comments. As a bonus for sticking with me till the end, I'll give a heart to each and every one of you who's going to comment on the video. Till we meet next time, take care, stay blessed, and peace.